Creating content for your monthly membership site can be a big task. When you create your monthly membership site, you will need to come up with new content every so often, depending on your publishing schedule. Of course, this doesn't necessarily apply to membership sites which use software as a service. But as a membership which is content based, the content creation can be an arduous and time consuming aspect. It can take a lot of time to create content on such a regular basis. From technical glitches to writer's block, which happens more often than not, there are a bunch of external causes that can delay your content creation efforts. You'll suddenly find yourself being stressed out with having to create content that often, which is not what passive income is all about. Luckily, you don't have to create the content all by yourself. There are quite a few options out there which can help you come up with content. The first option you have is to outsource the content creation to professional freelancers. Having your content outsourced to a creative professional gives you more time to focus on other things which need your attention. If you go about this right, you can end up with content which is way above standards, which will in turn keep your members satisfied. And you can get a freelancer to create any kind of content which you need. Some of the material you might want to look at outsourcing are blog posts, articles, animated videos and slide presentations, voiceover work, video transcripts, and visuals. You can even outsource software creation to a freelancer. And you can find freelancers online very easily and for cheap rates too. Just visit outsourcing sites such as Fiverr, Elance, and Upwork, which is a great hub of creative professionals. One of the main benefits of hiring a freelancer is you can up the quality of the content on your membership site. If you aren't a content creation specialist yourself, it's a good idea to get a professional freelancer who specializes in the content industry. This specialization and their experience with content creation will prove very valuable as they use their technical know how and intuition to craft content which is informative and easy to digest. Working with a freelancer will also give your content a fresher perspective. Outsourcing to freelancers also allows you to diversify the type of content that you can offer on your membership site. You can play around with formats and work with different mediums too. This experimenting with content types will help you further fine-tune what sort of content is most popular with your members. And when you know what your audience prefers, you can tailor your oncoming content to meet those preferences and even potentially exceed their expectations. When you start outsourcing your content creation, you also get the opportunity to build very strong, valuable business relationships. Content development is all about people, and the more you can strengthen relationships with good writers, designers, and animators, the better your content will get as time goes by. Similar to how you need to nurse and network with your list, you get to do the same thing here with freelancers, which will result in them being equally passionate about your membership site, which will lead them to creating content that is resonant and interesting. When working with freelancers and outsourcing your content work, you need to take extra precaution when passing on instructions and briefs to your freelance writers and designers. To create amazing content for your members, your brief needs to strike a balance between being comprehensive and concise. Be sure to be specific with regards to the content topic and also try your best to make sure the content fits in well with the rest of your membership site's tone and style. Also, remember that you want to work with skilled professional writers, not the group of self-proclaimed writers which you can find in abundance on sites like Fiverr. You want to be sure to do significant research before outsourcing your content creation to someone who claims to be a wordmaster. When it comes to freelancers, try not to be blinded by the cheapest rates. Cheap rates can sometimes translate into cheap content. You can and should still search for valuable rates, just make sure you know what you're paying for. Be sure to go through their profile of previous work. Contact them for samples if you have to. You want to make sure you find a content creator who suits the type of content you need for your membership site. Freelancers was option one. Another option that you have is purchasing rights to existing content or PLR products. PLR stands for Private Label Rights. Once purchased, PLR content can be legally manipulated, published, and resold as your own. That is to say that when you purchase PLR content, you own all or most of the intellectual property rights to the said work. Usually, you can claim full authorship to a PLR product and you can make as many edits to these products as you see fit. The rights which you gain from PLR products vary from product to product. Most websites that sell PLR content will provide a list of rights which come along with the purchase of each individual PLR product. They don't even cost very much to purchase. You can find ebooks for under $5 and articles for less than $1. However, you should always double check the quality of the PLR products you purchase. You want to find PLR content which is of a certain standard and quality. Also, be ready to do some heavy editing and formatting. PLR content is a base which you will need to build on because, as is, the content just doesn't have enough value for your membership site. While you can use ready-made PLR products as content for your membership site, as is, I would advise against it because PLR content is usually very bare and has a low perceived value. What you need is some editing and embellishing. This is the best way to add value to the content and to ensure that the content that gets shared on your monthly membership site meets expectations. At the end of your edits, your content should look and feel like a top-notch, one-of-a-kind original content. You'll also find that most PLR products are relatively skeletal and bare, with little to no formatting or design. It's kept very black and white so that it can be customized. For this reason, it's best that you consider adding a few headlines, inserting 1 or 2 visuals, or even adding a whole new section. All this is in the interest of rebranding the content. A lot of people use PLR content as well, so you want to make sure that your content looks and sounds fresh. Who knows how many other websites have purchased and published the exact same PLR article? What a nightmare it would be for your members who are paying to be in an exclusive membership site but are instead receiving less than exclusive content in return. You can also look into curating content from more than just one PLR source. Purchase 2 or 3 PLR articles on your chosen topic instead of just one. Then mix and match and create a hybrid product which is 2 to 3 times more comprehensive. Finding contributors is the third and final method which you can use for finding content for your membership site. Third-party contributors are people whom you invite to write periodically on your website. Unlike freelancers, these contributors aren't hired or paid by monetary means. While third-party or guest contributors are a great way to get some extra content on your membership site, it's not a viable means for constant content. This basically means that contributors cannot and should not be used to create the bulk of your content. That said, it is a great way to boost the quality of your content and shake things up so that your members don't only hear your singular opinion on things. However, you should look to control the amount of contributed articles that you fit into your publishing schedule. After all, the membership site has your name on it. A good contributor is often someone who is involved with your membership site's niche and has a somewhat recognized standing within the circle. Usually, you will need to go out and find contributors yourself, so when you start work on your membership site's syllabus, you want to also start thinking of people whom you can consider as third-party contributors. This is also why it's so important to network and go to industry events. It's much easier getting someone on board as a contributor when they know who you are and what you do. As for payment, 9 times out of 10, contributors would be more than willing to contribute an article or 2 on your membership site for no fee at all, especially if your membership site has already gained some traction. This is because these contributors would like to reach your audience in the hopes of gaining publicity and doing some extra marketing. So, as long as you can guarantee them a bio or an About Me section and a link to their website or landing page, they should take you up on the offer. This is something which can be negotiated, so there isn't a hard and fast rule to this. While you can have any numbers of third-party or guest contributors, you might want to also look into recruiting core contributors. These would be regular contributors who can pour content into your membership site. This is a great way to get quality content on a fixed basis. To assist in managing your contributors and flow of content, it's a good idea to consider having very clear content guidelines. This is to ensure that the standard of content is kept above par. Consider also having all these guidelines placed on a guest contributor page as a friendly reminder. Primarily, you should identify guidelines pertaining length, if any, formatting guidelines, due dates, what topics should be covered, and who the article is targeted at. As long as you can cover these basics, your contributors will have a clearer direction when they come up with content for your membership site. It's important to note that, while you should by no means babysit your contributors, you do need to be objective when it comes to editing content. You'll find that most contributors will be more than happy to have you proofread and tidy up their content before you publish it. In the end, they too care about the impression their article or post has on your members. To ensure that everyone is on the same page, and to ensure you don't step on any toes, always run by any changes that you make to contributed articles. Commit to letting your contributors approve the final draft if you have made any major amendments to their content. That way, you are showing respect for their work while still ensuring the quality of content is up to your standards.